In addition to the propagation of waves, you should also be cognizant of some of the key things about standing waves. Standing waves are when you get a wave pattern in a musical instrument in which you have nodes and antinodes. And the biggest thing to remember is what occurs at the end of each musical instrument. So for a stringed musical instrument, nodes occur on each end. If you have a wind instrument, antinodes happen on open ends and nodes happen on closed ends. With that in mind, it's pretty easy to figure out the relationship between the length of the musical instrument and the wavelength that is produced. So, for a stringed instrument, you're going to have the fundamental frequency with nodes on each end, and that's half a wavelength. You'll notice that with a stringed instrument, the first overtone is one whole wavelength, and then for the second overtone, it's one and a half wavelengths. For open closed, you'll see that this is just a quarter of a wavelength for the fundamental, then three quarters of a wavelength, and then five quarters of a wavelength. The final one, when it's open on each end, you go from half a wavelength to a whole wavelength to one and a half wavelengths. Regardless of the type of musical instrument, when you go up one octave, not one octave, but when you go up from one harmonic to another, you always increase by half a wavelength.